So things are not looking too good right now for Respawn Entertainment. A news article just dropped that they apparently have been forced to cancel two video games that they were working on in the background. Now, one of these video games that they canceled was already known to be canceled back in March, but there is another video game that they are not talking about that hasn't been announced that they have officially canceled. So that's two games within the last 2 months that have been canceled by Respawn Entertainment, and people are wondering what is going on. It's only a matter of time before they get layoffs, right? Well, another article dropped right as I'm about to film this video, literally saying that 100 people have been laid off and moved after Respawn has canceled their video games. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as expected, anytime you hear about video game cancellations, it's almost always guaranteed that you are going to have some level of layoffs follow suit. It's only a matter of time. People are trying to pretend as if this is not the reality, but the quite frank reality is that things are not looking too good in the gaming industry. The amount of money that has been available in the past is no longer there, and projects are number one, not as easily funded, and number two, are just so bloated that now developers and studios are being forced to make decisions within themselves to say, you know what? This is not exactly very worth it to continue this lengthy process that we spent $50+ million on. Perhaps we should cancel. So let's get into this article from Insider Gaming. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the initial article said that Respawn had canceled two games to focus more on Apex Legends and Star Wars, apparently. In a lengthy statement posted on social media, the studio says that the decision to cancel the projects weren't easy and that they were deeply grateful to every teammate affected. They said, as we sharpen our focus for the future, we've made the decision to step away from two early-stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments across Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. The statement reads, these decisions aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. So this this entire thing starts off as a bad PR statement that layoffs are going to follow. They could try to make it sound as nice as possible, but this is almost always followed by layoff. And the crazy thing is that this second article wasn't available when I was literally about to start filming this video. And then all of a sudden they drop it confirming my exact notion. I was going to film this video saying I'm almost positive that layoffs are going to follow this announcement at some point in time soon. It's only a matter of time. And then we ended up getting it the same exact day, which is wild. So Respawn continued and said, looking ahead, our commitment to player-first experiences remains unchanged. Innovation has always been at the core of Respawn's identity, and it continues to drive how we build the future, from evolving live experiences to crafting new worlds and stories. When it's games to the new focus, specifically Respawn says it will put heavier effort into not just delivering competitive, innovative seasons, but expanding what Apex can be itself. That includes refining the core gameplay and bringing new ideas to the upcoming seasons. They also say that they are investing in what's next for the franchise, exploring bold experiences that push the boundaries of competitive play, while staying true to the spirit of competition, creativity, and integrity that our community expects. So all of this amazing PR speed is going to be followed by the inevitable reality that there is going to be layoffs, right? If they are going to be canceling two projects, I gotta imagine how many people were working on that project. And not all of them are going to be able to be moved over if they're only focusing on two video games. Those two video games are just not profitable enough to support all that bloat. So that leads us to here, where we have another article following up right after that says 100 people have been laid off or moved after Respawn game cancellations. It says on Tuesday, it was announced that Respawn had canceled two games at the studio to put more of a focus on Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi. While it was confirmed that there will be employees impacted by the decisions, it wasn't revealed how many employees at Respawn were going to be laid off. But according to a new report, that number isn't small. IGN's Rebecca Valentine reports that roughly 100 individuals are affected by the changes. This group of employees includes developers, QA, publishing, and more. And it's not just people from the canceled games being hit either. Gee, I wonder why that is, because quite frankly, everybody knows that Apex has been underperforming. Apex has actually been losing players on and on for a few months now. It's actually performing under what they would actually like for it to be doing. And with that comes layoffs. They just don't have the money to support the bloat anymore. They're going to have to continue to trim the fat. And this is like what? We're in month 4 now in the year, and we've had a multitude of studios fire people, lay off people, all kinds of stuff. It's been absolutely insane what's happening, to the point now where we have, again, I want to reiterate to you guys, we have a list here that I've been using that's been updated. And the last time it was updated was 4/26, where we are keeping track of every single studio, the amount of layoffs, and the announcement, and what studio and company was affected. It's insane how many layoffs have happened. As of right now, there has been an estimated, and keep in mind, there's some question marks here because some studios haven't announced how many people they fired. They are trying to keep it vague. So with all the numbers we actually have, we have almost 2,000 people fired in the year of 2025 alone, and we are only in month 4 of the year. That is not even including the recent reports of layoffs from some companies like this one. So I can only imagine when we start adding this and other companies down the line, what is that number going to get to? How many layoffs is the gaming industry going to have to take before they realize that their bloat is absolutely unnecessary? That they're going to have to get back to the basics at this point. That they're going to have to figure out, hey, we need to get back to merit-based hiring. We need to get back to people who actually are nerds. We need nerds back in gaming. That's what we need. That's what I've always said. Bring nerds back into gaming, because when nerds were in charge of gaming, gaming was at its peak. And then when nerds left gaming because they were kicked out by the women they let in, things just took a turn for the worse. And it's quite unfortunate. We need to get nerds back in. I don't care if you're a black nerd, female nerd, male nerd, white nerd. I don't care. Asian nerd. Bring the nerds back into gaming, and gaming will definitely get better over the next few years. But then it says Valentine states that both the Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi teams were affected by the decision. Some staff members were moved to other projects like Battlefield and Iron Man at EA Motive. However, it's not clear how many of the impacted employees were moved elsewhere and how many were laid off entirely. Insider Gaming has made attempts to get clarification on the number of people impacted at Respawn, including how many people, if any, have been let go. As of publishing, no response has been received. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I highly doubt they are going to make a response because they don't want to turn this into a circus show. A lot of these studios tried their very best to keep this swept under the rug as much as possible. And obviously that's very difficult considering the nature of the industry, how many things get leaked from these studios. These studios have more moles in them than I don't even know what to compare it to at this point. There is more spy work happening here than the government. It's insane. But the gaming industry has that for a reason. And it's because there are so many people that feel stuck in the industry. They cannot speak out. They feel like they don't have a voice. And the only way they feel like they can contribute to the conversation is by leaking the information to people that do have a voice, to people that have a following, that people are able to share that information. And sometimes that unfortunately is journalists like Insider Gaming that shill for Big Daddy Corpo. And surprisingly, I'm surprised anyway, that they won't actually get these leakers in trouble, considering how much they shill for Big Daddy Corpo most of the time, like companies like Insider Gaming. I'm very shocked they keep their sources quiet, but that's besides the point. These sources also reach out to YouTubers sometimes. Sometimes they reach out to the most random YouTubers, but then the information gets out there one way or another, and they feel like they contributed to the overall conversation. So we need to keep this going, and this kind of situation is something that we all saw coming, especially when a couple of weeks ago I talked about Apex Legends and how that game is struggling, and that it's only a matter of time if it continues to struggle, that it's going to have to start cutting the bloat and cutting the fat. And that's exactly what's happening here. They lost over 100 employees. I guarantee it was more than that. It was more than 100, but they're going to try to make it seem as if it's always less because, again, they don't want the bad PR press considering everybody's firing people right now. But this is what's happening in the gaming industry, and this list right here will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually I don't even know if it's going to dwarf 2024 at this point. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.